Hello friends, welcome to the session on Learning Project Management Essentials, Learning with SV. Today we are going to talk about the role and the importance of the PMO, which is also the Project Management Office. An extension of the PMO becomes the Program Management Office, and a further extension becomes the Portfolio Management Office. Now, in many instances, it so happens that when an executive leadership executive wants to talk to the project execution person, they need a single source of truth to understand the overall status of the functioning of the project, the dependencies on the project, where there could be possible stops, where there could be possible impediments, and where there could be possible budgeting constraints, and how much of resource allocation or how much of team member apportioning, partial or fulfillment kind of activities needed from the leadership perspective or from a decision making perspective. In these instances, we need an executive who would be doing the clerical aspect of the job to help understand the project intricacies, understanding the various dependencies on the project, and also apportioning people to the project to ensure that the overall customer deliverable aspects of the project are taken into consideration and the success of the project inherently becomes at large. Now, it also so happens that during course of this execution, the PMO is also known as the pestering person, because time and again we have seen them talk to us, give us the metrics of the project, give us the functional dependencies on the project, and how are we going to aggregate all of this into the project to send it to the leadership as a dashboard. The whole point is underpinned in a fact that unless these data metrics are not properly sorted and given to the leadership may not be able to take a balanced view of the project to understand if there is any challenge in the project execution and how are we going to address those ongoing challenges or forthcoming challenges, if any. So in all of these dependencies, we find that the administrative office or the clerical office, which does each of these activities to ensure that the project is smoothly in running, is what you call as the project management office. And as I told you, an extension of this collective projects dependent on one another becomes a program management office. And from an organizational standpoint, if we are looking at projects and programs dependent or independent, but which are run for the overall benefit of the organization and revenue realization, becomes a portfolio management office. So if you look at it from a final perspective, the PMO underplays three kinds of roles in various organizations. It either dons a supportive role. The second thing is it either dons a decision maker role. And the third thing, the PMO itself is the project execution role or the program execution role or the portfolio execution role, as the case may apply. So the three types of authoritative functions which we typically see are the supportive, directive, and the controlling kind of a PMOs, which in turn decide what the role of the project manager will be, how much of power is the project manager invested with, and what is it that the PMO is going to influence as a part of the project's outcomes. Now, it so happens that in IT or software related companies, the PMO dons a role of a support function. It may not have a full say in the execution of the project. However, if you are going to talk about a project which is of a national interest, let us say, which is something to do with the armed forces, a decision which is to talk about some kind of a purchase at a defense procurement or at the national safety level, it so happens that the PMO essentially becomes a directive kind of a role, and the key stakeholder in each of these procurements or purchases, when we are talking about it from the stakeholder perspective, the armed forces will be having a PMO. In such instances, the armed forces does not direct, it virtually controls every activity of execution. So supportive, directive, and controlling are the three types of PMOs which we are possibly looking at, and this in turn paves the way for understanding the kind of management structures or organization structures which we shall see in the subsequent video from now. I really take this opportunity to wish you all a belated Christmas and a very, very eventful, safe and a happy New Year 2021. May all your wishes, may all your prayers, and may all your success inputs to ensure that the success of the project becomes true may come at large. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day ahead and wish you all a very, very eventful and a happy learning session ahead. Thank you.